boys and girls. Welcome back to another episode of Wine ASMR. I'm your host, Jay, and together we taste, we review, and we learn about wine. Before we get into today's video, let me just say that the next video I will be uploading will be the Q&A video. So this video is highly requested by you guys, and I believe it's time to go ahead and shoot it. So having said that, if you want to get involved, if you want me to answer your question live on camera, you can contact me either through Instagram, so add my account, add me on Instagram, DM me. Many of you have already DM'd me on Instagram, and don't worry, I have gathered all of your questions, they will be answered. And if you do not use Instagram, you can leave me a comment down below, but please, prior to posing your question, add the phrase for the Q&A, so I know it's for the future video, for the next video. Having said that, let's proceed with today's wine review, and without further ado, let's begin. So, today we're visiting Moldova. Moldova is a country in Europe. It borders with Romania and Ukraine. It's the poorest country in Europe and the least visited country in Europe. It has a population of 4 million people, just above 4 million people, and approximately around 25 years ago they declared independence from the Soviet Union. And I mention this because the economy of Moldova is highly based on agriculture and drinks. And after declaring independence from the Soviet Union, their wine was banned in Russia, so this was a huge loss for them. Even though it's the least visited country in Europe, I definitely want to visit this country. And you know why? You want to know why? Well, the country hosts the largest winery in the entire world, the Milesti Mici. This is the name of the winery, Milesti Mici. You can go ahead and Google the name of the winery, see some photos. It's very impressive. It holds over 2 million wine bottles. This is just crazy. Now, Moldova has a well-established wine industry. It produces over 2 million hectoliters. A hectoliter is equal to 100 liters, and these numbers are not annual numbers. They are, I think, so far the production that this country has, the wine that they have produced so far. Now, a couple of wine regions in Moldova worth mentioning, and I have actually written these down because I just cannot, I can't keep track of them. I keep forgetting the names, so let me just see. Have you been, by the way? I didn't ask you. I'm sure you're fine. And possibly you're quite sleepy. Yeah, so, don't worry, you can go ahead and fall asleep, no problem with me. You can see the video another time if you want to learn about wine. If this relaxes you, just close your eyes, listen to my voice, and doze off. So, let's see, where are we? Okay, so 3 wine regions worth mentioning. It's the Valul lui Traian, the Stefa Voda, and the Codru, which is located in the center of the country. I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing this correctly. If you happen to be from this country and you're watching us, you can correct me. Go ahead and correct me, no hard feelings. wine varieties worth mentioning are the Feteasca Alba, Feteasca Regala, Feteasca Neagra. I'm really curious what Feteasca means. And the Plavai, I've actually tried out the Plavai once, I think. But you know, these wine varieties, and to come across a wine bottle from Moldova will be quite rare for you, I don't think. Comment down below, have you tried the wine from this country? I'm pretty sure you haven't. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open today's wine bottle. You know, it's probably a bit tough to find a wine bottle from Moldova. This was actually gifted to me. I found it in my wine cellar, and this is the perfect time to open the bottle on camera with you guys. So enough said, let's go ahead. Okay. It's a vintage of 2014, so it's a 7-year-old wine. Possibly it may need a little bit of time, so we're gonna open it and just allow it to breathe a little bit, just introduce it to the environment, because this guy has been sleeping for 7 years. And it's a blend of 3 varieties. We have Merlot, the French variety, Cabernet Sauvignon, you remember this, it's the most planted variety worldwide, and Saperavi, you remember Saperavi from our Georgian episode. The winery is the Bostavan winery. It's supposedly a well-known winery in the country. So we said it's a blend of 3 varieties, vintage of 2014, 13.5% alcoholic volume. And I'm guessing, since it's a blend, usually when you blend varieties together you have good quality wines. So I'm guessing we might have something very good here. Let's go ahead and open it. Okay. Our typical routine. Removing the foil. Kinda messy this time, don't worry. This actually blocks my view. Let me see. Let me try it. Wait. So the name of the wine is The Black Doctor. Not bad, right? Cool name. So usually if the wine is an old vintage, over 5 years I would say, especially over 10 years, you must pay attention to the way you open the wine bottle, because the cork is gonna be a little bit fragile. You know, over time everything becomes more fragile, so pay attention. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to pause the video. Let's see, but I want to let it breathe a little bit. So the Black Doctor. Once again, for the Q&A, add me on my Instagram account if you are using Instagram, and it's a bit easier for me to receive messages, direct messages. and a little bit more interesting because your questions will not show altogether, and I'm gonna be reading them out live on camera. And but you know, no problem if you want to use YouTube, whatever suits you. It's the same for me. So what else? Anything new with you? Have you been enjoying it? No, be honest now. Be honest. Have you been learning, or have you been sleeping? Be honest. Yeah, I thought so, man. Yeah, that's okay. Whatever works for you. Let's go ahead and pour some wine. I hope this has had enough time to breathe. I paused the video for about 20 minutes. Just a little bit. What I can tell you straight away is that I'm loving the color. So the color for me, just by looking at this wine, is amazing. It's a ruby, robust, almost black. I love this kind of wine, and it's very lively for a 70-year-old wine. It looks pretty young, actually. This can confuse you, but yeah, this is just absolute beauty. So a dark, dense color, ruby color. You can tell it's robust just by looking at it. So it has a very powerful open nose with a lot of notes. Straight away I'm getting red fruit, like raspberries and blackcurrant. It's a little bit smoky as well in the back. Yeah, definitely smoky and a little bit of tar. Let's allow a little bit more air into this. Yeah, nothing else to it, at least at the moment. Okay, let's taste it out. Kind of weird, to be honest. I didn't expect this. Oh yeah, this is so tannic. So tannins all the way. My mouth has dried out completely. One more. It's getting a little bit confusing right now, because the nose does not meet my palate. Let's see. Man, the tannins are just crazy. This is a little bit confusing, to be honest, okay? But I'm not getting any fruit at all. It's very creamy, very heavy. It has a heavy body. Very robust, as we detected just by looking at it. Very tannic, full-bodied, medium acidity. Flavors of vanilla and chocolate. It's balanced and it has a jammy finish to it. But apart from that, I was expecting it to be very different. It's very robust, which was on point with our, just by looking at it, but the nose and the tasting were completely different experiences. Nevertheless, quite enjoyable. You know, by tasting it, there's no difference if you swallow it or not. So whatever the wine has to give you is on your palate. If you swallow it or not, it's the same thing. So I would pair this with heavy food. So creamy pasta, barbecue food, nice steak. And I'm gonna rate it approximately around, I'm not sure, I'm gonna give it 86 points. To be honest, I'm not crazy about this wine, but you can drink it just fine. It's enjoyable. reactions. And also, another thing that's weird is that it's very tannic, which is weird because a wine that has been aged for a couple of years, the more you age the wine, the less tannic it's gonna be, because the tannins start to soften out after a while as the wine progresses with its aging. But yeah, it definitely needs food. It's a strong wine, heavy, robust, full-bodied, smoky, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I can't wait for our Q&A. Can't wait for your questions. And my message to you as always: drink responsibly, have balance in the way you're drinking, don't overdo it. Try out different styles of wine, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.